opportunities outside the normal office jobs through freelancing, online work, business, digital skills, and innovation. So, this workshop has been organized to help young people understand these opportunities better and learn practical ways to grow, earn, and succeed in today's job market. So, today's workshop aims to firstly, equip young people with practical knowledge on freelancing, entrepreneurship, and digital opportunities, and then to provide guidance on accessing career internship and remote work opportunities. Also, we're going to help participants understand personal branding, networking, and professional positioning. Also, to inspire entrepreneurial thinking through shared experiences and insights. Also, to create opportunities for networking, mentorship, and professional growth. This is a very interactive and respectful space. So feel free to participate through the chat, discussions, and question and answer section throughout the workshop. So before we start the main session, let's do a short fun activity to help us think about growth opportunities and future of work. The activity is called Choose Your Path. I'll give two options. You'll simply type A or B in the chat. There are no wrong answers. It's just a fun way to share ideas and to start conversations. So I'll start with the questions. I think we've mostly understood that you're just writing an A or a B in the chat. So A, work a traditional 9 to 5 job forever, or B, build your own freelance or business career. So I'll repeat. A, work a traditional 9 to 5 job forever, or B, build your own freelance or business career. Please just type in the chat box. The next one I'll ask is, okay, thank you for those who are responding. The next one I'll ask is, stay with familiar skills only, or B, learn a new digital skill every year. So A, stay with familiar skills only, or B, learn a new digital skill. Okay. Three, A is work alone, or B, build professional networks and collaborations. Work alone or build professional networks and collaborations. Okay. The last one, A, fear failure and never start, or B, take risks and learn through experience. So yes, okay. So now, thank you for participating. These traces reflect the different ways young people are thinking about career growth, innovation, and creating opportunities for themselves. Today's session is designed to help us better understand how we can confidently navigate the changing world of work and make use of opportunities available around us. So we'll now move into the first segment of today's workshop, focusing on freelancing, career positioning, and digital opportunities. This session will explore how to position yourself for freelance and remote work opportunities, building a strong personal brand and online presence, networking and LinkedIn optimization strategies, skills currently in demand in today's job market, and practical tips on getting started as a freelancer. I would now like to invite our speaker for this session to take us through this important discussion, Mr. Faraz Ahmed. Welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Catherine. Can I share my screen? So can everybody see the screen I've just shared? Okay, great. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Faraz Ahmed. I'm a web and game developer by profession. I have 24 years of experience in the online field. I have been freelancing for the last 13 years. I'm a top-rated freelancer on Upwork. I've also been mentioned by Upwork multiple times on their website and social media. And I have helped thousands of freelancers in more than 87 countries kickstart their freelancing journey. So I'm sure we all know what freelancing is. So I'm not going to talk about the basics here. I'm going to jump directly into how you can find remote or online work. So we have three ways to find remote or online work. You can join a freelancing platform like Upwork, Fiverr, or People Per Hour. If you search on Google, you will find a lot more. Now, you can generally find clients quicker on freelancing platforms, but you often have to spend some money to do that. And of course, many people who are just starting out do not have any sort of investment in the beginning. So, joining freelancing platforms may not be ideal for many people. The second way to find online work is to directly approach people and pitch your services. We call it cold calling, cold outreach, or cold emailing. But with this approach, you will need to invest a lot of time. And if you want to create systems to find leads, email them, and follow up with them, that also costs money. And again, when we are new and just starting out, not all of us have any sort of investment to begin with. The third way to find online work, and that is my personal favorite, is called personal branding. And that is where I will focus a lot on today. So basically, what is personal branding? Uh, Personal branding is the perception people have of you when you are not present in a room. For example, someone mentions your name in a meeting or in a gathering. What people think of you when they hear your name is your brand. Or when someone talks about a certain thing and people associate that thing with your name, that is also how you have created your brand. For example, when someone talks about Upwork, uh, in my country, for example, most people in my country associate my name with Upwork because I have created so many resources to help freelancers succeed on Upwork. So when someone talks about Upwork or ask for any help on Upwork, people usually refer me to them. So when you are creating your brand, all it needs from you is time. You do not have to spend anything to create your personal brand, but you will need time, consistency, and patience. And once you have a brand, instead of finding clients or finding work yourself, the clients will come to your inbox themselves. You will not have to approach anyone. People will be approaching you. And that's why it's my personal favorite way to find clients, because I just share what I know. I educate people. I put on content. So when people see my content, they get awareness that I have this specific skill, and they approach me directly if they need any work done. So how do we create a brand? That is the main question, right? But first of all, let's uh, talk about the skills, because to create a brand, to talk about something, you will of course need a skill, a service, or a solution that you can offer to the people who need it. So obviously, initially when you are starting out, you will not have any skill or experience because you are just starting out. You will have no idea what skill to learn, what services to provide, or what is in demand in the market. So how do we find that skill or service that you can learn, practice, and then offer to people? The most common suggestion you will hear from many people about what skill you should learn is to find your passion. Now, uh, people will tell you, hey, do you do what you are passionate about, because then you will enjoy whatever work you will be doing. But my advice is a little bit different. I do not tell people one specific skill to learn, because everyone is different. Everyone is born differently. Everyone is born in different environments with different gifts. So one piece of advice for one person is never going to work for another person. So what do I say? I say that everyone has a certain gift, and there is always something. There always something, one thing that you can do better than everyone else around you. Find that thing. It does not matter if you like doing that work or not. That is not important. Forget passion for now. Okay, focus on that one thing you can do better than everyone else and improve yourself in that specific skill, because you will be naturally gifted in that skill. With a little hard work, you will always be ahead of your competitors. No matter how much your competitors try, they will never be able to reach you, because you will be naturally talented in that skill, and you will also be working hard. And once you have started, I always say that once you have started making money from your naturally gifted skill, you can then focus on your passion on the side. You can even outsource some of your work or delegate it and use that free time to work on your passion. That's literally what I did. I started with with web development, and after I have established myself as a web developer, I then gradually moved to game development, that which was my passion. But I first made money through web development. I built systems. Now I have time to now focus on my passion, and I'm sure all of you have heard about Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. He says he has written a lot of books, but he says that he doesn't like writing books. Okay, he says he doesn't like writing at all, but he knows that he can make money by writing books, and after he makes that money, he can then invest that money in his passion, which was real estate. So he didn't have money. He wanted to business. He wanted to do business in real estate, and he wanted to obviously have some investment. So he did what he didn't like. He didn't like writing, but he knew that he can make money from it. So he wrote books, he shared his experience, and he made money, and then he put that money in his real estate businesses. So always, do not start with a passion. Okay, start with the gift you already have. Everyone has that one gift. Start with a gift you already have, so you can make money as early as possible, and then you can, of course, focus on your passion on the side or full time in the future. And let us say you are really not sure uh, about your skill or gift. For example, you have no idea what gift I have or what skill I should work on. You are still confused. Then the best way to find that skill is to explore different skills. Nobody's going to tell you work on that or work on this. As I said earlier, everyone is different. So you have to explore different skills yourself. This is what I suggest to people. I tell them that go to a freelancing platform like Upwork. Check different work categories and see which category names interest you. Okay, write down the names of 5 categories, for example, web development, graphic designing, video editing, and there you will find a lot of different work categories that you probably never heard of, right? So just write down names of 5 categories that interest you, and then explore them on YouTube or Google for 1 hour each, not more than 1 hour, just for 1 hour. And after studying those skills for 1 hour, if they still interest you after that 1 hour, explore them further for 20 hours each. Okay, explore them further for 20 hours each, but again, not more than that. This way, after spending some hours exploring each skill, you will automatically know at the end that which skill is for you. For example, you will feel that, okay, I enjoyed exploring this XY skill more, or I understood it better than the rest of the skills, or I found it easier than the rest of the skills. So when you find that one skill, that is the skill you should lock in, put everything away, put every the rest away, and explore that skill further and start creating some practice projects related to the skill after you learn that skill or while you're learning that skill. Because see, without any portfolio or something to show, nobody will take you seriously. If you tell anyone that that, hey, I'm a web developer, and they ask you to show your portfolio, what are you going to say or do? Without seeing something from your end, nobody is going to hire you. It does not matter how many courses you do or how many certificates you have. You need to show your potential clients some practical work for anyone to take you seriously. So always create some personal projects. If you have like no idea what to create, you can even offer your services for free. There is nothing wrong in that. You can tell people, hey, I have this XYZ skill and I can do your work for free at no cost. This way, you will gain experience and you will also get to learn about real world projects, because no matter what courses you do, how many personal projects you create, the work that we do real world is very different from what we learn in any course. So you can offer your services for free to get some experience, or if you, let's say, if you don't want to do that, you can go to a freelancing platform, browse jobs related to your skill, and try to do them as practice projects. You don't have to apply to those jobs, but you can just look at jobs to get some ideas and try to build something real for your portfolio, so you have something to show to your potential clients. So that is another thing you can do. And I would say that if you give it around 6 months of learning and practicing your skills and creating some useful projects on the side, you will be ready for the freelance market. But again, how would you know you are ready? You will again visit platforms like Upwork, browse the jobs related to your skill, and if you realize that you can understand 60 to 70% of the project briefs, then that is the moment you can consider yourself for the market. But you are still not able to understand most of the projects that are posted, then that means you still need to work on your skills and practice more. Alright, so we talked about how you can find your skill and practice it. Okay. But again, if anyone asks me, what is the number one skill we should have? Then that would be your communication and your sales skills, because everybody needs business, everybody needs sales. If you have a good service and if you can't communicate your service better, if you can't sell it better, then there is like no point of having that skill. So communication is good communication is must have. How you can offer, present your offer, how you can sell your offer. That's another thing. That's your soft skill that you need to practice. You cannot just work on hard skill and expect to get projects. You also need to work on your communication and your offer and selling skills to complement that. Okay, so now let's get back to personal branding. How are you going to start your personal branding so people start knowing about you? First, pick one platform, one social media platform. Let's say it is Facebook or it's LinkedIn. It doesn't matter, but just start with one platform. I started with Facebook, by the way. Then you will join different groups related to your skill, because in the start you would not have any or many followers. So if you post any content on your social media, all hardly anyone is going to read it. That would be a waste of time. So you will join different groups and you will start answering questions. If someone is stuck and you know the answer, you will help them by getting them unstuck. You see, the more you help and benefit people, the more they remember you. That's how the world works. Nobody is interested in talking to a person who does not have anything to give back. And that's the fact of life. That is the reality. So the more you help people in those groups, the more people will start recognizing you and start following you. And once you have some followership, let us say 100 people, you can start posting your educational content both on your personal wall and in groups. Now, here people make one mistake. When I say, okay, so when I say post educational content, People often get stuck on ideas and they start copying content from the internet or AI or from someone else and rewriting them instead of posting something original of their own. You really do not need to look around to find ideas. You really don't. The ideas are right inside you. Maybe a problem you may have faced in the past in a project, and how you did you research and you come across the solution and what was the result in the end. Talk about that. Talk about your own real projects, own real work that you have done, because that content will always be unique. That content will always be different from the others. The content that comes from your experience will always be different and unique. And when something is unique, people remember that. Otherwise, people will just keep scrolling if they keep seeing the same things over and over. But when they come across something unique, they will stop and they will see the name of the person who wrote it. Otherwise, they will just scroll. And when they see the name of the person who wrote it, they will say, okay, this one is different. This person knows what they are talking about. And when they keep seeing your name again and again with unique content each time, they will start labeling the work that you do with your name. So if someone asks, "Hey, do you know someone who can help me with a logo?" And let's say if you design logos, they will immediately remember your name because they've either seen your unique content or they have seen you helping people around in the groups, and that is how you get referrals from people. So if you just keep educating people, whether they are actually learning from your content or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter if they are learning from your content or not. Only 1% is going to apply your knowledge for themselves. The rest will either contact you to help them with the work because they don't have time to do it themselves, or they will refer you to others. What matters is when you post educational content, you are spreading awareness that you are good at your skill and have solved a wide variety of challenges. That is the goal when we post educational content. The goal is not to really educate people, because not everyone is going to read educational content. It's boring, right? Even we don't interact or engage much with most of the educational content we see. But the goal is to spread awareness about ourselves, so people know that yes, we do this work and we are good at it. So when people have our name in their minds, they can refer it to others, or if they themselves need that same service, they can message us. So that's why personal branding is my favorite method, because you really don't have to search for the clients or go around looking for clients. People come to you themselves. So let's talk about an example of what you can, how you can start posting uh, about any educational content. For example, if you want to post something about your project that you have done, you can start with, let's say, a problem that what was the project about. For example, you can say, "Hey, just launched a personal blog for a freelance photographer, and I focus on showcasing their portfolio and sharing articles. What challenges did I face? The challenge was that uh, they needed a site that was both visually appealing and responsive across devices. And what was the solution, for example? So I can say I selected the WordPress theme designed for visuals, and I integrated XYZ gallery plugin for easy photo management. And then at the end, what was the result? And then you can talk about the result that at the end, I created an engaging, user-friendly website that is increasing visitor engagement and driving more photography bookings. So this is the format you can use in the start to talk about your projects. But what should be the plan? How often should you post on social media? What kind of posts you should write, and how many times per day you should post on any social media that you are going to choose for your personal branding? So you can follow this format that I suggest to everyone. Initially, you can just start with one educational piece of content, once per week. You can start with just one content per week. And slowly, as you start getting engagement on your content and as you start getting feedback on your content, you automatically feel motivated to post more and more. So initially, if you are busy, just start with one. But this is very important. Even if you are doing a job, you are doing a business, you are doing anything in life, you are a student or whatever you are doing, personal brand is very important nowadays. You need to create your personal brand. You need to make people know about you. So start with one piece of content, and as you get time, and if you want to follow this plan, basically on first day, let's say on Monday, you can post any educational piece of content, just like I posted this one. This is the example you can follow. In this on the second day, let's say on Tuesday, you can post about your services that I provide these services. On the third day, you can again post another educational piece of content. On fourth day, you can post some testimonials from your clients if you have any. Day five, talk about uh, something personal which is not related to work. Show your personality because people want to know the person behind that name, that social media profile. So talk about your personality, show your how show about tell them about how you work or what you do besides work, so people know the person behind that profile, the real human behind that profile. Day six, post something funny, some a joke, make people laugh. It can be related to your skill, it can be unrelated, but you can show your funny side if you want to. And day seven, you can focus on engaging with others. Read other posts that you are connected with, read their posts, engage with them, comment on their posts. If you can add something more to their content, or if you have any good suggestion, or if you can if you have your own opinion of how things should be done, you can comment under their post. And also this way, when people read their post and they see your comment, and if your comment is really good and it's really valuable, it's adding something good to that post, then people will also start following you from that comment. So this way you will also increase your followers. You can also get potential clients if your comment is really valuable, and if you have posted something really informative and added something to the original post. So you should also engage with others, and this way you can also get new clients and new followers. So basically, personal branding is, it takes time. It takes some, you can say that it will take at least 6 months if you remain consistency if you remain consistent. But with consistency, which is hard to achieve, but we all know, okay, which is hard to achieve, and many people give up soon. Okay, we start something, we are motivated for first few days and we then give up. That's most of the human beings do. But if we remain consistent, and that's the good thing, by the way, if most people give up soon, that's the good thing for us, because we will be consistent, we will not give up, we will remain consistent. And because the rewards are extremely tremendous. So just give it 6 months, and trust me, you will see the results. Okay, I can guarantee you that. If you ask me about freelancing, that for example, if you ask me what are the chances of being successful on a freelancing platform like Upwork, I will say you 10 to 30%. But if you work on your personal brand properly with consistency, your chances of success is 100%. And it takes a little time. It just takes your time. It doesn't take any money. It won't require any investment from you. It will just take some time. And if you do it properly and with consistency, you will find clients coming into your inbox themselves. You won't have to search around for any opportunities. People will be coming to you, or people will be referring you to others, and it works. I also written a short book on personal branding, which is, by the way, free, and you can download it from this link to learn more about how you can work on your personal brand, or how I started working on my personal brand. So that's the link right here, and I will also post it in the comments. So yeah, that is that is from me, and back to Catherine.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed. That was quite insightful. I personally loved how you focused on the nitty gritties from how you begin. It's quite practical for someone who's entering into the freelancing space. especially with the unemployment issues we have at the moment. It's quite insightful on how to begin, and I think that's what people struggle with most: how to start. Um, Now we will move into the question and Q&A session. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Now is your time to ask any questions that you have. You can type in the chat box. You can use your mic. Just feel free to ask any questions. And you can also check out the link Mr. Ahmed sent in the chat box. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. As I said before, this is an open session, interactive session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I saw most of you guys mostly wanted to do freelancing from the questions I had asked. You mostly chose freelancing and building your career, personal skills, which is really quite interesting to see that most people are moving away from the traditional way of getting work, which is quite interesting. Um,
Personally, can I add in that? Personally, I
mhm,
suggest everyone to do an office job initially because when you are
for,
doing
mhm,
freelancing, you are doing everything. You are just not working. You are also doing project management. You are also doing client communication. You are also looking at your finances. And if you don't know about your business properly, you might, not be able to succeed as a freelancer because that's how what I did. I worked a 9 to 5 job for like 5 years, and
mhm,
I learned project management from that job. What I did that is that we had a project management department, and when they were talking to the clients, I told them that I'm going to pick another phone. I will be silent. I will just be listening that how you are talking to the
mhm,
client and how clients are talking to you. So that's so I can improve my listening skills, and I also can improve my speaking skills by hearing you how you respond to the client. So that's how I improve my communication skills. There was also a sales department, of course. So I sat with them and I asked them how they send proposals to clients on freelancing markets, how they communicate with clients, how they price their work. So that's how I also learned how to work on freelancing platform. Without that experience, I would have failed completely on the freelancing platform. On Upwork when I started. So I personally suggest everyone to at least uh, do a job for at least 2 years in any company, or not a job, but at least work under someone for some time, so you understand about how the whole business works, and you get to learn about other aspects of business too, project management, communication, sales. There are a lot of things you do when you are working as a freelancer. You're basically the whole company. You are doing everything. So if you get to know about how the whole business works, you can your chances of succeeding as a freelancer increase. And if in future you want to do your own freelance business, you want to register a company, you want to hire other people, so you will have that experience from the company you have
mhm.
worked in, and you can you know just follow that experience and use that in your company to grow your freelance business. Okay, I have a question. I started building my brand some 2 years ago. I can just say building something. Yeah, oh, yes, thank you, Duncan. Of course, it takes time. It took me around 2 years myself. I was just doing it, unintentionally. I had no like intention of creating a personal brand. I was just posting content because I liked it, and people gave me good feedback. But then I slowly realized that I'm creating my personal brand, and then the results were tremendous. I got a lot of client leads, lot of business from social media. What platform would you recommend focusing on first? Personally, I started with Facebook, but I mean, you can start with LinkedIn also. It's up to you which platform you are comfortable with. I was comfortable with Facebook, so I started with that. It's up to you. Or if you have already some followers on any specific platform, you can just start there. It doesn't matter. You can start with one platform, and when you have followers and you have built a good brand on that platform, you can just tell your followers to follow you on another platform when you start on the second platform.
I think Duncan focused on LinkedIn, which was good for him. I think what I see most people doing it now, young people from those I've interacted and myself, being what you mentioned about the 9 to 5. I feel like people do 9 to 5 office jobs and also freelancing on the side, just like concurrently to to learn from both fields. I think that's something
Mhm.
people are trying to explore,
Yeah,
which
if
is really
people have
interesting.
time to do that, but people often, either get tired or they have some other personal
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities. And in freelancing, you will have to, stay. Initially, you have to, stay really active to your clients.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say if you are working a 9 to 5 job and a client messages you if there is something urgent, something broke, and you are not able to respond to the client because you are doing an office job, that can affect you badly. So that's something everybody should consider, that how they are, if they are going to also freelance with their jobs, and how they are going to manage time and manage clients.
Okay, that's very interesting. Is there anyone who has any questions before we close off this first session? Okay, there is a question.
Okay. There were not really any challenges, to be very honest. As I say, just post what you know. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just post content that you know. It doesn't matter how simple is that thing, or how difficult or complex is that knowledge. Just post. If you know something, and if you know something, and if you have not seen anyone else post that thing, go ahead and post it. If other people have also posted it, then it's not unique. But if you have seen that nobody has posted this, and I have this experience, I have this knowledge, I have come across this thing, then just go ahead and post it. It doesn't matter how simple or complex that thing is. You just be consistent, and not every piece of content is going to hit out of the park. But if you remain consistent, let's say post 10 pieces of content, maybe even two and three, they even if they get some traction, or people like those two and three pieces of content, that's enough. Not everything will connect with everyone, but uh, even if just two or three pieces of content connect with people, that will be more than enough. So there are no challenges. Just be honest, be genuine, be yourself, and don't copy others. Don't look around searching content from everyone else. You have the content inside you. You have lived, I mean, in your life you must have faced a lot of challenges, and you have come through those challenges. You have struggled, you have come across some solution, and then you've got good results. Just share your journey. Maybe someone can relate to you. Maybe someone is going through the same phase, and they might be able to connect with you. So just try to be helpful. That's all I can tell you.
I have a question. I mean, yes, you're talking a lot
Yeah.
about personal branding and you being very niche to yourself. So how do you stand out? Because I feel like most people do that. How do you stand out in a saturated market where everyone is trying to be personal, everyone is trying to do this, do that, which is kind of like the same, which makes it saturated? How do you begin, especially?
Okay. So what I do is, I just don't tell people what to do. I
Mm-hmm.
tell people how to do it. I outline my exact steps. Most of the content you see, they just tell people that you need to do this. But nobody tells, or most of the people, let's say 99% of the people don't tell the starting point. The starting point is the most important point. That's what people don't know. They don't know from which step they need to start. They know what to do, but how to start? What is the first step? So what I do out, I just don't tell what to do. I also tell how to do it, how I did it, and what results that I achieved. So I go very deep in every topic that I write. I give them all the steps. If a video is possible, I create a video. If I can explain through text, then I can just you know write text post, and I post it, and I just outline the steps. That first you have to do this, then this, then this, then this, and this. That's all. But if you just tell people what to do, everybody knows that. Everybody can, Google or ask ChatGPT. Everybody knows what to do, but the actual the main important thing is to where to start. That's what people don't know. Okay, if we need to learn, for example, someone asks we need to learn web developer. How do we start? They know they want to learn web development. They know that there's a scope of that, but they don't know where to start. If they have to take some course, or if they have to go to some YouTube channel, or if they have to read a book, they don't know where to start. So I give them the first step. Okay, this is the first step. Go to w3schools.com and learn the HTML course from there. That's the first step I tell them. And then I tell them, okay, well, after you've learned that, come back to me. I will tell you what to do next. So try to be helpful. Tell them the exact steps that they need to achieve their goals. If you just tell them do this, do that, most people will still remain confused because they still won't know how they can start or what is the first step. So just tell them the first step, and I think that will be great.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed. This has been very interesting, insightful, and very educational. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Faraz. We really appreciate it. Now, yeah, now we'll be moving to the next session, to the second session and our last session, which now focuses on entrepreneurship and innovation. Entrepreneurship is not only about starting businesses, it is about identifying problems, creating solutions, building sustainable impact, and contributing positively to communities and the economy. This session will help us explore entrepreneurial journeys, startup experiences, business opportunities, branding, and strategies for sustainable growth. Now, I would like to invite our next speaker to take us through this discussion, Mr. Duncan Okaka. Welcome. The floor is yours.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Uh, Thank you so much for this opportunity to be with us here to share some of the experience and as well to explore the entrepreneurship part of it. So I will ask Susan to share the slide, please, because generally the program is designed for me to look into some entrepreneurship journey and also look into some innovation. Thank you for the first speaker. Actually, it was very encouraging to learn how the how the freelancing space works, and we really understand that a lot of people have been earning a lot of money through freelancing. So, because I'll be talking about the personal entrepreneurship journey, we'll look into the background and also personal experience, the inspiration behind starting the business or the initiative. Then we'll dive into main discussion, which is about lesson that we learned while building the businesses, the challenge that we face in the most of time, and how do you overcome this obstacle. Then also look into why is it so important and resilience for the people that were in business. Then core importantly will be really identifying how the business opportunity are there, because I believe in the space that we have a lot of the business opportunities. We will also be recognizing some digital and online opportunities that youth can explore. Then how do we now turn this idea into practical space? Then lastly, because it will be now as entrepreneurship, how do you turn your business into more sustainable way. So allow me to introduce myself very quickly because of the sake of time. I'm called Okaka Duncan. I'm the CEO and the founder of Sidic organization. I'm also a founder of a community Solarized Community Digital Hub, which is operating in western part of, of Kenya, that's Busia, and we really major into solar powered system, looking into renewable energy by giving solution to community in space where you find that a lot of electricity is not there, so a lot of family struggles to access to electricity in terms of charging phone, the access of computers and all that. But allow me to talk about Saidika. Saidika is a non-profit community youth-led organization that was established in 2018 through community involvement. So the aim of Saidika was actually to address the challenges that youth we are going through, and the solution that we are going through. So the reason why Saidika started was because most of time we find we have the disconnect between the project that we are implementing in the community and the funding space that we have. So we usually had a lot of funding, but it was not aligning with community norms and values. So most of time I was getting a lot of challenges in terms of penetrating into community in order for us to implement the project that we are doing by that time. So the one of the things that people alluded was this project most of time designed internationally with community or comes use the community. Because I was working with that project for me to go to community, then now here to say how you can address our challenges. Then started from 2018 up to now. So those are quite good years that we are impacting community, and also we are changing the life. So my professional background, I'm a teacher. I'm a retired teacher by professional. I was a teacher, but during COVID, because COVID came up with a learning lesson on challenge that people are going through, so I had to resign it at very early age because of the challenges that parents were facing through in terms of to pay school fees and other some laws that for me it was not working out. After being a teacher by professionalism, I did journalism. Then I worked within, I think, 2 years time. Then again I had to resign from being journalism because it was more exposing to me, especially for me to get the news. I was kind of risking my life, and that time it was very tough. So I was also looking into my age. Then again, another things that people really understand was about when you are journalism, then you have a lot of money. So it was a little bit you are more public figure. Everything involves around you, what you do, people wants to hear your views, the things that even you are not involved. So I was not getting really peace, so I had to leave journalism. So after leaving journalism, then I had to join Harvard, doing leadership in principle, which I did in 2 years. Then I finished my whatever I was doing into leadership principle. So currently I'm doing the strategic management, planning and fundraising with one of university in Manchester, so that I can really just get to understand community diverse and how can we get the resources and fundraising. So that is more of my personal background. 10 years experience in community because I started working in community in some years back while I was still in high school. So that's why I get to have more experience with communities. So we can go to the next slide. I think that's more briefly short overview about who I am and what I do. Uh, Next, I think that one already has talked about. I don't need to. So now let's talk about the entrepreneurship experience journey. Most of time, the challenge that entrepreneurs get that I have really realized is in the aspect of, because entrepreneurship is about for us identifying what are some of the challenges, what are some of the gap in the community that we operate in, that we need to address the gap. But now, for most of entrepreneurship is vice versa, where you get, when I'm employed somewhere, I don't think about entrepreneurship. We only think entrepreneurship when we are laid off job, like umefutwa kazi ama umepoteza kazi, you don't have source of income, then now you start looking like, hey, what can I do, how can I get money, can I start this business? Because most of time, that's where we get it wrong, because entrepreneurship is about for us looking into the spark. We notice the gap in the community in where we are working around, uh, that needs for us to address, and for us looking into this opportunity. Most of time there's no direction, because these are gaps that is there. Maybe for example, let's say where you are living, people struggle to get water, or let you just use a simple word, something like where you live. You find, you personally, you can travel around, you can walk like 5 kilometers looking for service that you need. There's now a gap that is there in your community that you feel you can address. You are struggling to get some services. These services, it may cost you to kutoka where you are, maybe to other side that maybe you required to incur some expense on it. So that's now about the mind of entrepreneurship. It's about how do we identify the gaps that we have in where we are, in order for us to give the solution to what we are doing. So that's all about entrepreneurship. Then it becomes like, it's kind of motivation. So that's why I was saying in the beginning, most of time people will start our job, our entrepreneurship journey, because either nimefutwa kazi, either things are not working out. Like teachers, you find teachers that are being in private school, they are not entitled for salary when the school closes. So when the school closes, you find like we have 3 months holiday. Then you find these are my teacher now. Nasema, this period is long. What can I do? I start selling mandazi. Yes, you are starting to be an entrepreneurship, but your motivation is not about maybe selling mandazi, because what value are you offering when selling this mandazi? Is it the challenge that people are facing there? Maybe you are selling mandazi and we have around 20 people there who already selling mandazi. So what will make your mandazi to come out? But you go somewhere place where you find, maybe for you to get that mandazi unatembea 10 minutes ni upate mtu mwenye anauza that mandazi. Then why don't you capitalize on that gaps that is there, that needs you to do it. So you find now this, when you are starting this entrepreneurship journey, is also grounded into building the system. Now this where most of time as youth we find we miss a mark, because I remember when I started Saidika, I had a clear mission, but the building the system take me a lot of time, to be honest. It take me around 4 years, because now this building mechanism, building system, knowing these are the channels, these are the opportunity, just building the network around me that made me to grow. Then the motivation part is it like in a clear picture for you personally, what do you want to be in the next 5 years? But now maybe let me say I'm starting a business today, then nasema tomorrow I want to be a billionaire in this ecosystem that we have. When you look into Kenyan constitution, under Procurement Benefit Act of 2013, says about 30% is reserved for youth, women, and people living with disability under Benefit Procurement Act opportunity. So this is an opportunity that government has offered, but now as a youth, because we have a startup, there's some challenges that cannot allow us to reach to this opportunity. Because one, utaenda unaambiwa like maybe they want something like collateral, they want something like financial report, they want something like bank statement, and maybe for your startup you have just started today, you don't have those qualifications, even you don't have a certificate. So now it's just a matter of us for the resilience that we need to move. We need to trust the process, because as we are talking, we are facing limited resources. There's pressure to prove what you are doing. Like what you are doing, you find even you are looking for funding, then someone is telling you like, can you send us an impact report on what you did? Can you send us the last quarter financial statement or the amount that you got? And maybe you got nothing. So this is how the resilience come in, and creativity. Because now this is the value of the strong community. Most of the time what we used to do, we used to operate activity without a budget, but we used to capitalize on other partners that they have activities, so we make sure that we are present. See kwamba we are man solo, and there's what we call the value of network. One of the African proverbs said is a simple proverb that people really understand, that if you want to go faster, then just go alone. But if you want to go far, they say we do what? We go with others. So there also that aspect of mentality. Whatever you are starting as a business, if you want to go far, unataka hii biashara iende mbali, learn how to encourage partnership, how to work with other people. Lakini ukiona unataka kwenda hizo mbio peke yako, you will go alone. Itafika pale mbele either uchoke ama uanguke. So far as we learned to go far, so a time we didn't have a budget, tulikuwa tuna anchor into partners. Unapata mtu anafanya project, tunamuuliza like, hey, we see we are doing a freelancing this and this. Also, can we be part of it? Then what do we need to do? Tunaweza mobilize people. Can they come? Can we be part? So like we keep on building the consistency as we move forward. So people they're able to see you are reporting, you are doing activity. So hata wanashindwa nao watu wanatoa wapi pesa. Na maybe amna pesa because you are leveraging on the community strengths which has partnership and which has an opportunity. Now as we go on, there's aspect of growing into impact, because it is a learning lesson. People are trying to see what you're doing. And I think for me to be here, I didn't know the Anchor organization, or nobody knows me there. But it was through what I'm doing with youth. I think they were searching through social media, LinkedIn page. Then like somebody was interested, like this guy what he's doing is perfect. So there's that aspect of consistency, as the first speaker said, in smaller way. Ikuwe ni noma kidogo, we keep on being consistent, moving on. Challenge comes because they say that when challenge comes, it's not that they want to destroy you, but they want to keep you more stronger and to make you to come out very nicely. Next slide, please. Now, this is more important on how do we identify business opportunity and how do we identify right opportunity. Currently, as we are talking, a lot of people are earning money. Tuko na huyu demo anaitwa Shiro Kikomba ama something like this lady who is selling clothes via TikTok na ako Kikomba. I was with that lady. Shiro alikuwa ananiambia in a month he earns 30 million. People can think like this ni story ya jaba, but hata saa hii ukienda TikTok you will find these ladies selling, and he sells everything. Ako tuna ka small shop along Mombasa Road na ingine ako nayo town, lakini he sells everything. Why? Because identify TikTok as an opportunity. Then grow followers. So the more he gets followers, like blah blah views, nini na nini, you find now he's earning money in TikTok that is supporting his business. So pesa yenye ana earn 30 million in a month, hata inashinda sijui MP, right? So napata that amount he's earning. Tuko na vijana wengine Kibra wanaitwa Kondele Warrior. Those guys, they have just they have identified an opportunity. The opportunity they have identified is a TikTok. Then they have grown that followers. Those guys, they are earning 50,000 in a day in the business that they're doing. And what they're doing is funny. It's very simple. Because the one thing that I have realized with Kenyan system recognize mediocrity. I'm sorry to say that. Because you'll find what you are doing in a best way, you will struggle to be identified. But kuna mtu anafanya tu kitu fani tu, unasikia he's awarded. Shindwa like, hey, what am I doing? Because that's the system here. So those guys, what they're doing is dancing, kulisha maumbwa, wanaenda tu wananunua nyama, wanapika, wanalisha maumbwa, people are viewing, people are very excited about what they're doing, and they're getting money. 50,000 every day. That's how much in a week. So, for us to identify the right business opportunity, as I said in the beginning, let us identify the community need. In where you are is a community setup. What are the needs there? The best business solve the real problem. Talk to people, listen to people deeply. What is it the missing mark? What is the missing gap? What frustration? You find at times people that are really frustrated. Even me at times I get frustrated. You find I'm doing something like hai unashindwa nasema kwani huyu jamaa anachukuaje? So it keeps frustrating people. They start losing that customer. Can you use that gaps to build the business and the opportunity? Recognize digital opportunity that I was talking about. As we are talking, we have e-commerce, we have online services, we have digital platform, apps, we have internet. These are all over that we can use it for us to benefit. Then how now can we turn this idea into solution? I think most of time hapa ndio mambo huwa inakwama, because idea is not just about stating. We validate it. We start it small. Do someone need it? Can they pay for it? Because most of time what I say as an entrepreneur is looking into the opportunity. I have been doing fundraising for Sideka for the last 5 years, since we understand we had the issue of donor funding. We are doing our project with zero donor budgets, but we are doing, people are being paid, the program are being implemented, our growth is increasing, we are going to different counties. Because the one thing I believed, I said, is anywhere that you see people, that is an opportunity. That is an opportunity. Nikiona tu penye watu wako, that is an opportunity that can turn you opportunity to money. Because where people are, those are services, and those services will turn them into money. Then start where you are. Don't wait like you need a big budget to start. Area budget. You start with just a vision of telling people on what is their solution. So the sustainable business is a business that really addresses the challenge of the people and the challenge of the community. Even if where we go, where people they are suffering a lot, awana pesa, then you are coming the solution to address their problem. Believe me or not, you will get paid. They will pay for that services. Yes, next please, as we are almost finding. So the building businesses that solve problem. One, for you to create a business is not about building profit alone. We are building a purpose. We are addressing the challenge. So create impact driven business. Know how exactly you serve and how you change the life. And that's why you see in the sector of the community we are working with the social impact programs, it is self-sustainable when we look into the challenges that people are facing. For example, as we are talking, I'm doing one project in Turkana, Drops Initiative. Drops Initiative is a water project that addresses water scarcity and sustainable water fresh for the community. We know Turkana, they are facing a lot of challenge to get water. It brings a lot of tension, watu wanapigana because of water. Do those people have money? Yes or no? But this a challenge that is facing them. Yes, I know it's a national government that needs to address that. But we as other developing partners, we can come in board. So the first thing I did, nilienda Turkana, I did community participation from different communities. Then I asked them like, guys, now this is about innovation and creativity. I see that you are struggling with the access of water. What can we do ndio tumalize this tension? Then now what I did, I thought about having water kiosk. Then after having that, then I said, now how will they access water? We need something innovation in a way that either we can use either ATM, something like tap. What the Nairobi county has come with it, dish tap to dish, ama dish in account tap to it. So for me, I come with something like that. You just go to that kiosk. The community themselves agreed on how much will cost per liter or per jerrycan. So once you are given that kaka tap, you load it with money, hata kama ni 50, hata kama ni 100. So we have the committees that in place. So the innovation part ni kwamba sasa hakuna vile hii maji mtaharibu this system, mseme kwamba ni Borana ndio waliharibu na watu wengine. Once I have that katap, I can go and tap water. Nikitaka hata maji yenye inatoshana aje, now I will harvest that water, nitachota kulingana na pesa yenye nimeload kwa kadi yangu. So now we looked into what are other partners that can we work with. Unfortunately, we identify one partner from India. Then we tell him what we want to do. We tell him we want to build a solar powered water system that addresses the challenge of the people, because one, there's no electricity, ni ngumu kupata Turkana, stima haiko, na this water needs energy for it to circulate because we are using sodium chloride system to purify the water. So that people, we ask them, tukileta hii maji, mutakuwa mnalipia hata kama ni shilingi 2? And they said, why not? Even if we stand bob, because natoka hapa naenda like 35 kilometers from here to Kitengela looking for water. What if ikiwa hapa hata kama ni 10 bob ama 20? I will have to pay. So it was more innovative. Now people started kuona like, hey, hii kitu inaweza tusaidia. So that's how we started now building the water system, looking into more partners, expanding into more counties, because it's already is an opportunity. One, this already treated water. So hata mkiwa na some income generating activity, mna brand chupa zenu, mnaenda hapo, you tap it, mna refill, you go to sell. So you see how it is creating income and the community is appreciating it. So listen to your customers, I said. We listen to their needs. Hii ndio changamoto. Then how are you addressing it? Measure your impact. Our water system also have impact that we measure. We measure in terms of volume of water used, the number of people that are using, how is the rate that is used on monthly basis, and everything. We're able to measure that. So once we do that, I think it really comes out to be perfect. So the last one, next, please. Sustainability and long-term growth. One, you need to be financial discipline, guys. This is where things fall apart, especially for youth. Friday lazima tupige raha ama tushereke. The financial discipline is about like, what can you have? Can you use the little you have for output? And in the fundraising system, they say, if I have $1,000 US, the return investment should be half of what I have. Then if I do my calculation into return investment, then what am I doing? Anything we are doing even on fundraising is about profit. So it's about financial discipline. Nikipiga hesabu nione there's no return investment, then hiyo biashara iwezi kuwa. Collaboration and partnership. These are more important. You can't work alone. You can't work alone. So it is a must you collaborate. And one of the philosophers said, you can only be as good as the people you are surrounded yourself with. So just ask yourself question. Which people are you surrounded with? I remember last time I was talking to some group about the personal board lead. Like in your boardroom, what kind of people do you have? Because opportunity don't always knock. Sometimes you have to build the door through networking. And that's why people meet. We go to this session. Wewe ukishaenda session yoyote, umealikwa event, ukifika pale you are busy on phone, you don't even want to talk to people. Unaona wewe umefika, my friend, you are losing. And that's why they say also that when you are building a team, in the team you are, mkuwe na mtu mwenye unajua this guy is good in networking and collaboration. Atawasaidia ku network. Kuna tu another person that is best in doing this. So once you identify those, now it's good for us to grow. For us as Saidika, we have grown because of networking and collaboration. We have partners internationally, locally, county government, because any forum we go, we build the partnership. We tell them what we are doing. This is the challenge you are addressing. How can we, it's not about like to pay of land, how can we work together? As we move forward, the needs coming. Then having the sustainable model. Sustainable model is a model that even someone like our outer project costs between 1 million to 2 million to build that system na tukuwe na maji. So is that amount that even someone thinks aseme these are sustainable model, ataendelea kukupea pesa kila siku, hiyo itaendelea, it will be generating money, we are able to generate money that sustain the project, sustain the mechanism of that water. Then community impact, people are looking into community impact. People are being rewarded for the community impact. What impact are you building from your business? Because any business you have, we are looking in terms, how many people have you employed? Let's say in profit business, how many people have you employed? Other profit business like equity, we have KCB, the profit they plow back from what they get, they have their foundation. Unasikia tuko na wing to fly, unasikia nini na nini. So also your business, you can start thinking in a smaller way. Unasema mwaka ikisha, nitapiga hiyo profit ya percentage yenye nimepata, nitakuwa nanunulia ama nafanya hii donation on this organization. Even you can do it on monthly basis, because any profit entity you are asked, what is your return investment on community project, because it is stipulated in constitution. Now people will start, even mwenyewe ukipitch, ukiambia mtu utasema, hii profit tulipata, we were able to support this school. We're able to do this borehole. And that's why you see even the banks, the institutions, the companies, they are doing that because it is stipulated. Now, they are getting the customers because mtu akisema, hii tulisaidiwa na hii kampuni Chandaria. Then now people, tukiendelea kusupport, will get more. Next one, please. Faisal talked about the brand and the visibility. Now, for me, when I talk about brand, it's not about logo. Because when you say about branding, people really think about logo. But branding is more personal. How does people view about your identity? And this is where branding fails us most of the time. Your social impact, wewe unapiga siasa, wewe sijui mara ni ball kwa social media, and this is where most of our youth we have really missed the mark. For us, when we do the interviews, you find most of interviews they request you attach their social media. Then wewe umesema you are climate champion advocate. We will run very fast into your social media to see your brand identity. Tunaenda pale, wewe kazi yako tu ni matusi, what you are posting is not aligning what you are saying. So branding is mostly for me aligning what you are doing. And most of case, when you look into my social media, my page, Duncan Okak, in all social media, either Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Yes, I have reservation to talk about politics or other things. But I sit down na angalia, nikiposti kitu, how will people view? Because my brand is not about this stuff. My brand, people know like a community, I'm social impact. Maybe if it is in terms of advocacy and policy, I will raise a poll to ask people, like this AGPO says 30% for youth, women with disability, but are youth getting these resources? So I'm using my brand to influence policies and to get the views of the people. But where you have your brand, you said your brand, but if somebody looks, even there's no a single day you posted anything about what you're doing, there's no any single thing even you like what you can post ni mkiwa party kwa bar. What you can post either is football stuff. So mtu akiangalia na shino like really this person does it really needs understand what he needs to know. So let's refrain from be strategic with branding, because branding, building a branding, it have taken me years to build Saidika. So at the moment when you come when you're operating, you ask mtu mmoja tu atuandudi Saidika, he will tell you what our brand stands for. So it is important, guys, for us to know your brand, because unapata mtu mara huku, because most of people at the moment they are looking into things that are trending, things that can give them views. No, build your consistent brand on social media, post consistently, educate people, inspire, engage your audience, give them inspiration, use reels, give the real story, give success story. Your story is equal to your brand. Share why you are behind your business. Why did you start your business? What is opinion about this that affecting our people? Partnership and PR. Collaborate. Align with other organization. That's the branding. You have an event. Align with other organization. That's how the brand and the visibility looks like. Visibility is not about website. It's about consistency. Consistency. That's very important. Because when you post today, na last wewe una apply kazi unasema you want a resource mobilization, tukiangalia social media, the last post that you post about resource mobilization, it was 5 years back down the line. Do you think guys will get that job? No. Next, if is there, that's the end. Okay, yeah, okay. So the last part I think is key lesson for the young entrepreneurs. One of the key lessons that we need to take it back home is start before you are ready. It's like marriage. People will tell you like bado nangoja, bado natafuta pesa, bado na hustle, then utapata pesa dilini. So don't wait for the perfect moment to come. Best time to start is now with what you have. You have knowledge, you have network, you have skills. You can do stereotyping. The stereotype you can do is very simple. Just go to community. Have the sample of what you want to do. Ask people, bwana, nataka kufanya kitu fulani bwana. Will this work? Already you have started. But most of us, we are waiting. Ukiambia mtu, he's tell you like, I'm waiting this money to come so that I will start. The money will come, you have an issues. What next? Then somebody's telling you like, hey, you know when that money came, I had this issue. I was not in a position to start. Because entrepreneurship is about risking. If you cannot risk, then you cannot be an entrepreneur. Resilience is your superpower. Every entrepreneur faces failure. We have faced failure during COVID. Post-COVID, we have faced failure. We lost all the funding. We had to downsize our office. It reached a time that you're working from home. Hadi unakaa like because as I said, my journey, I had to resign to do this work. Had in a car with my wife and my kids, my family. They're telling me like, "Are you serious, guy? Guy, are you serious? Why did you resign the job that you want to start your own thing that you don't know where it is heading you?" Then even I sit down, vitu zimeumana, unasema like, hey, did a mistake? But failure is not the decision thing. The more you fail, the more you learn. The most companies that have succeeded have failed even 100 times, but they keep on doing. Surround yourself with the right people. I think I said this. What people do you surround with? In the personal boardroom, we look into 12 principles, like of the people that you surround with. Evaluate your boardroom. Angalia useme, niko na innovator, I have a sponsor, I have advisor. So whom do I need to add into my personal boardroom? So that when you want to do something, you make it a call. You read to this person, he advises you. So let's also work around our personal boardroom to see, because personal boardroom is more like your personal cycle. Which people do you have with? Wewe uko tu na watu wa mshene, watu wawezi kusaidia. You get it? So it reaches a time you find, like for me at the moment, at times reaches a time there's other people that we can't take a lot of time discussing. It's not that in our dharau, because you see the value, they're not adding something into your life. So look into the personal that surround yourself with. Solve problem, really problem, not imagine one. Go into really problem, not imagination. Go into the target community. See the need, not your assumption, not your shaped solution into papers. Papers doesn't work. Adaptability beats perfect plan. Market changes, customer need evolve, ability to pivot smartly. So adaptability is more important. For example, I want to give you we had this internet here, Elon Musk. How is it called? Then when it comes to Kenya, Safaricom were really struggling. Wakasema hatutaki net. Set what light? They said we don't doesn't this internet. But wakaona like they're being beaten. People are taking that net in all whatever. So what Safaricom did, waliwaita wakasema, guys, you cannot operate alone. So we can give you this so that we also get this profit. Because if you cannot adapt, you cannot survive. As we are talking, Poster is closing. G4Ways, Ena Coach is taking the day. Why is it that the Poster they are closing? Because they are not adapting to changes. Things are evolving very fast. As we are talking, Safaricom is best tech globally. Is not what they're doing transaction at the cost, but in terms of the on idea on how the money is transacted. There is no, at the moment as you are talking, you can go into tech space without hearing the word Safaricom. Even the last that was KCC about AI, GTEx and all that, you will hear that idea everybody is talking about. As we are talking, we're into era of innovation. We know people like Kibet, this lady who sells honey. At the moment, he's using tech space to harvest honey. We have Kenya AI sign language. Like people that are just sitting, then they are looking into challenges that that faces them. So when it faces them, what they really do is what they really passes through. Fine. So the aspect is look into the challenge that you are facing through, then look into the solution. Come with the innovative ideas. So I think I want to end there. If it's that the last slide, I guess. Um, okay. There's still another slide. So it is actually your turn to build your business. The world needs what only you can build. Starts where you are. Use what you have. Do it with purpose. Simple. Don't wait. Identify one problem in your community you can solve. Write your business idea down. give it a name and a purpose. Talk to 5 person. This now because most of time for me I love practicality stuff. When even I do leadership coaching, see kwamba we are just doing blah blah with something that we can come back again after some period of time. Then we see like did it work out or is it didn't work out? What was the really challenge? So have that one problem. Write it down. Talk only to 5 people about your idea. Listen to them, what they give feedback. Join the anchor community. Share. Build your network. Start. Don't wait your journey with like, oh, bado nangoja, oh, sijui nini. So because that starting, as first speaker said, ndio inakuanga ngumu. But when you start, you keep learning. Is that the last one or this is the last? Okay, fine. So thank you so much for your time. Nice week. Nice Sunday.
Thank you so much, Mr. Duncan. That was quite insightful. Thank you so much for the work you're doing on the ground. It's really, really inspiring. Is now we can move to the question and Q&A session. Do you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask Mr. Duncan before we close off the session? Yes, just like we did before. You can type out your questions that you have and let us know what you would like to know. Before I forget, I think Mr. Ahmed and Duncan, could you please share your socials so that people can get to follow up what you do, can learn about, especially for Mr. Ahmed, can learn about personal branding, how to start, where you started, can learn more, can reach out even, can partner. We've talked a lot about partnerships. So if you could please share. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed. If you could share your platforms, resources that people could engage with and interact with you also to learn more, that would be quite amazing. Any questions that you may have that you would like to be addressed? Okay. There's a question from Natasha. She's asking, what is one advice you would give to someone who is starting out and you wish you had when you were starting out? Mr. Duncan.
Oh, thank you. What is the question all about? Or what an advice would you give to someone who is starting out and you wish you had starting? Okay, so I think the one advice that I could give. I don't know what he wants to start it out because one thing that I give before you start something out is good to seek advice for the people that have really been this space. The reason is because as we are talking, there is change in space, even just registration itself. Because what I have realized most of time, people have really made wrong decision in the initial stage. So initial stage is very important for any person that wants to do. So the best option is it like look into a peer who can guide you better. As I said, if it's a business, then look into the gaps that you want to do. So just in nutshell, in a simple way, best option that I can tell you, anyone that is here, let's identify for a mentor. Because we are in evolving space where like everything has really changed. So that's why you find for the startup, someone starts, then anafika mbele, inamshinda, he feels frustrated with system, with everything. But just identify one person as a mentor. Start there. I think that's fine.
Thank you so much. So you can just start, get a mentor, figure out the gaps, then you can find a way to move forward. Some of the key take. Is there any other question before I move? I conclude. Any other question that you'd like Mr. Duncan to address before we conclude the session? If there's no question because of time, I will just conclude this session. This was very wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Duncan. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed, for taking your time, for the advices, for keep sharing your experiences, also for the encouragement. There's been a lot of inspiring talk today, which has I hope for the rest of you has really pushed you to start that project that you've been working on, start that idea, that organization, whatever you're looking to do. Some of the key takeaways, and that's something I've heard from both speakers, is consistency in branding, especially in personal brand. Who are you? And it's not just about your logo, your website. It's about what you do, how you do it, how consistently you do it. And I think that's quite interesting and something very interesting to learn. I've also learned a lot about the importance of adaptability in today's job market. Learn to change with the times. Things are moving really fast now. Learn to change with the times. Build skills that match your modern career opportunities. Just like Mr. Ahmed was saying, learn, keep learning. What I had, what I got away was how he in as much as you're learning by yourself, you can also learn through others. Something that also Mr. Duncan has really emphasized: partnership, get to work with different people, learn from different people, learn for yourself. Also, just build yourself through people and through online skills and things like that, which is quite interesting. Also, position yourself professionally through networking and personal branding, back to partnership and PR and just branding. Position yourself in places where you can get to learn more. And then there's also having confidence to start small and grow gradually. Mr. Duncan talked about this also. Start where you are, grow from that, and just keep moving consistently. Yes. Then there's using entrepreneurship and innovation to solve real world problems. Mr. Duncan talked about finding gaps and problems in your community and figuring out how to solve those problems for people, real problems that people are actually facing on the ground. That's how to be innovative, be creative, um, and also continuous learning and mentorship and collaboration. Both speakers really talked about this learning, capacity building. I think that's really important. If you're starting out, you're wanting to grow, wanting to upskill from your career and everything. This has been quite insightful. Thank you so much. I can't emphasize this enough. Thank you so much. This is really wonderful. And also to our participants who have participated, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking your time to be in this webinar. So to all participants, that remember that your journey does not have to begin perfectly. What matters most is taking the first step, remaining consistent, and continuing to grow. Our speakers are sharing their materials on the chat box. You can check them out, learn more from them. You can reach out, get to understand more, see what they're doing, grow from that, learn from that also. We also encourage all of you participants to stay connected with us as a network member for future events, forums, invitations, and workshops by joining our mailing list. Also, before we leave, please take a moment to scan the feedback QR code and share your thoughts about today's workshop. There's the code. Please scan and share, give us your feedback so that we can help. You can help us continue creating impactful and empowering programs for young people. So you could just scan the code, give us your feedback. We would really appreciate that. And also thank you once again to everyone for joining us today. And we wish you all the best in your career and entrepreneurial journey. We appreciate your time, participation, and engagement throughout the session. Thank you so much for joining. Please, yeah, thank you so much. That's it.